What an interesting life you lead.
Yes, but it's a lot of responsibility.
Oh, when you're telling people about what's going on with someone they miss, they're still grieving for, yes, a lot of
A lot of
responsibility. How do
responsibility.
you handle grief? Continuing grief over a long period of time.
How do people handle grief?
No, how do you handle them when it's causing a problem in their lives?
Well, I think when you have your first appointment with a medium and you've been given proof that your child who took his own life, either on purpose or accidentally because he was a drug addict, and he comes in and reveals his personality and talks about the fact that you just put a memorial tattoo on and gives the name of his sister. And so when you walk away from that hour saying, okay, I now know my kid is safe, that moves grief tremendously. But the truth is grief has dull edges and sharp edges, and there's no cure for grief. It's a handicap that you have to learn to live with. It moves in time, but it doesn't always go away.
What if somebody didn't make it to heaven and they're in hell? Have you ever been contacted by a spirit that was in the other world?
Yeah, I think there's no such thing as evil spirits. There's just evil people, and I know a few of those. But only one time did I have a man that presented to me as evil. He'd had a gun to his wife's head and his hand around her throat, and what he did was he shot himself instead. And I remember this story very clearly because she wrote to me afterwards. And so he presented that way. The reason he presented that way was because it had to be real enough for her so that she could walk out of this session knowing that it was him. And about a year and a half, 2 years later, I got a letter from her. She said, I know you won't remember me, but I did because I remembered that feeling of his energy and that raw, angry, energy. And she said, I wanted to tell you that I was going to kill myself. And then after I came and talked to you and I knew it was him and that he was all right and his personality shined through, I moved forward and I just got married and had my first child. And I wanted you to know that if it weren't for you, that wouldn't have happened. And that was the only time that I've had somebody feel that evil to me, and I know why he did it. But you understand that he was probably very sick, and that when we go to heaven, all of us go to heaven, we get well taken care of by God.
You said all of us go to heaven. That includes suicides?
Absolutely.
Some
Yes.
religions tell us that that can't happen.
Yeah, it's a sticky wicket to talk about as a medium because you don't want somebody that's on the cusp of suicide hearing me and saying, well, oh great, I'm going to go to heaven anyways, and I can talk to my parents and tell them I'm sorry, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. There is karma to that. There are repercussions, universal repercussions to that.